call-in show, y'all. It's recruiting news. It's Michael Langston. It's Aslan Hudjavandi. It's Warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. Thank you for being here. We are live on YouTube. Since we are live on YouTube, we are brought to you by the good folks over at DeLuna Coffee, DeLunaCoffee.com. Come explore our world of coffee. What do you want? Anything's awesome. I can almost promise. I will promise you right now, anything that you order from DeLunaCoffee.com is absolutely awesome and amazing. Just about the same par of the work that we do over on the website with the recruiting with Austin Cox and Michael Langston. Michael, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm built for this. Let's do it. Long few days, long weekend, but that's what we do. That's what I'm built for. So let's roll, man.
I am not built for this. I was out there for all of like 2 hours and change with some of these 7-on-7 stuff that was going on. Shout out to Seminole High School, I think. They ended up winning it, taking down Hala Vanguard. Yeah. The team with Goldie on it, is that Sanford?
Yep. That's Goldie.
Seminole, Sanford. Yep. I don't know one or the other. So they won it all. Maybe highlights of that coming up. Maybe not on this show, but later on our YouTube page, which you should be subscribed to, everybody. It's totally free. Lower right corner of your screen, tap subscribe. If you could right now, hit the thumbs up button, right, Michael? That'd be nice.
Absolutely. Hit the thumbs up button. We got a lot to cover. I know you guys are going to give me some great questions. And by the way, FSU offered his teammate today, Ethan Prichard, out of Seminole, defensive back. I don't know if he played because I wasn't out there at that event. I was out there for a little while, but I didn't see it. Austin probably can give a breakdown, but he got offered as well. And his teammate, offensive lineman, Max Buchanan, also got offered. Both of them 2025 guys. So, hey, look at Seminole. Getting a lot of Seminole over the Seminoles. So Goldie and I everything I heard from Goldie today was he was phenomenal. So kudos to Seminole. It's a hell of a program, and certainly they put on a show today.
All right, let's get to it, Michael. First question came from Island Boy. He was in before the bell even rung. Check him out. What up, Warchant? What up, Island Boy? Update on Damon David.
Yeah, we man, you got to go to the PRB, dude. It's right there. We've covered that in detail. I think it's going to be either he stays at Oregon or he comes to FSU. That's kind of my vibe, Island Boy. I think the momentum it seemed to be with FSU, and I think as long as they keep pushing, I think there's a good chance that they win out. Obviously, we're waiting on Damon to make his decision. He said he hasn't planned any other visits, and certainly he was, blown away with everything he saw on that FSU trip. And we know how much he likes Marcus Woodson. He raved about that. He can go to an article on the front page. It's right there. Aslan could even scroll a little lower down there, and you could probably see the story. That we did on him was really good. So, yeah. He raved about everything. He raved about the people. He loved what the way their plan is to utilize him and what they plan on doing, and also he loved just the way they treat their players and the connection they have to their players. And so, we're still waiting, but everything I hear it was been pretty positive with Damon David.
Safety, cornerback, what's he project as? Do we know? Do we know how much of a need? I don't know need, but like how heavy is Florida State on him? He's obviously a take, but like, are they pushing? We think
it seems like they want a free safety in this class, and he seemed to fit that. They've gone after several safety prospects, and he kind of fits that category. Very rangy guy that they've liked and they've talked to ever since he hit the portal. So I'd say they want him at safety. That's kind of my feeling on it, and they seem like they want a safety in this class. Hasn't played a lot, but either is Trey Benson, and we saw what he looked like in the spring. So, and we saw what Michael Pittman looked like. They like the Oregon Ducks, man. I mean, they like going after the Oregon Ducks players, and so they definitely are high on this guy. They definitely want him from everything I've gotten. That he'd probably be a take. I get the impression he is. They haven't told me definitively, but I get the impression the way they're pushing and you bring a kid in for official visit, usually that's kind of a sign that, hey, we're pretty interested in you. So I think it's just a wait and see if he wants to go back to Oregon or if it's FSU, and that's kind of where I sit on that. As Aslan's trying to find a seat that sits his butt.
I can't do this, man. I am done, dude. I am cooked. That took the fire out of me being out there for 2.5 hours feeling that sun, man.
Welcome
So
to my world, man. It's fun,
yeah,
ain't it?
yeah,
Recruiting's fun.
recruiting's awesome. We both look really good though. Look how tan we are right now. It's amazing. Lewis Ross, or maybe Louis Ross. Ricky Collins did not show up. I was supposed to go out there and film Ricky Collins. Ricky Collins indeed was not there. What does that mean? We out?
No, I don't think it means anything because he officially visited over the weekend. I've heard that his family has. I've heard his family really connected with Alex Atkins. In fact, I've heard his mom called, FSU up on her own several times to talk with him. I think she really liked the way Atkins is. I mean, he's committed to Purdue, and he's certainly he committed there early, and they were on him early, so he's certainly going to go through the process. I wouldn't say they're definitely out in or out. I think he's going to take an. I have a feeling he's going to visit again, just unofficially, just maybe see what it looks like maybe for a game and stuff, and then make a decision, or I guess go from there. But I don't. He, I've heard that he really wanted to go there. I think it was more of a high school issue of transportation, from what I was told. Not transportation that he didn't want to go, just transportation that the school wouldn't allow him to go, from what I was told. So he wanted to be there. He planned on being there. He was going to be there, and that kind of came up, so that's why he wasn't there. But I wouldn't call it as like a no-show, meaning they're out. I think they're very active there, and I think they're going to push hard for. I think Mr. Ricky Collins.
All right, right on. Shout out to our guy James B in Pensacola. I bought a grinder so I can freshly grind my DeLuna coffee. Nothing but whole bean from here on out. That's right.
There you
Yeah,
go,
man.
James.
Whole bean over here too, buddy. Whole bean team whole bean over here. DeLunaCoffee.com. Check it out again, for real. Moving along here. Let's take a phone call. It says call-in show at the top of the screen. Let's go to Virginia Beach, Virginia for the 101st time. Maybe it's 102nd time. I still don't know. It says 101 total calls. Does that mean the one now is included? I don't know, but that doesn't matter. Gator Kirk's here, everybody. What's up, Gator Kirk?
Good evening, gentlemen. What's going on? Let's go. Month and a half before camp starts.
Loving the sun. We're loving the sun. That's how we're doing, Kirk. How are you doing, man?
We're good. We have the same type of weather up here. Hot, humid. We just don't get those thunderstorms all the time sometimes. So
110 heat index, by the way, today. 110 heat index in Tallahassee. So that was interesting.
Yeah, we haven't hit that. We've been close earlier this week, but I would like to know who's your Mount Rushmore of the 2023 recruits, committed or not.
Mount Rushmore, huh? Just gonna put me on the spot. Man. I mean, for me, Shelton Sampson is really high. He officially visited this weekend. I really like that kid a lot. I think that changes. There's a lot of ties there with FSU, and certainly, we've covered all the ties. So I think for me, at the receiver position, he would definitely be one. I think Jordan Hall, defensive tackle, is also very high up there. And Rod Kearney at offensive line. I think those are a few right there off the top of my head that I think they're a big deal if you get. I think it starts to show the shift of what you're doing with the class, and I like a lot of the guys they already have in this class. I think I think a lot of these guys are really good. I know there's a lot of 3-stars on there, but these are guys that like Randravius Jacobs put on the show at the league camp. Aslam was there, and he saw. I don't think that kid's a 3-star. I think that's a 4-star prospect, and then the others I think are really talented prospects. Randy Pittman was out there putting on a show as well. At the 7-on-7 tournament. So I like a lot of these guys in the class. But as far as uncommitted, yeah, I really like those three. Those kind of stand out to me, Kurt.
All right, awesome. Everyone out there, make sure you support the ones that support Warchant. If you haven't signed up, sign up. Hit that thumbs up. As always, go Noles. And you all have a great, great night. Keep up the excellent work. Try to stay cool and dry.
You will, man. We will. It's Gator Kirk, everybody, from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Let's keep it rolling on the phone lines. Let's go right to the Villages. Drove through there on Sunday. You go down the Florida Turnpike, and, man, just huge sign, like the Villages over a bridge. It's crazy, man. They're taking over the entire state. It's Wes, everybody. What's up, Wes?
What's up, Aslan? What's going on, Michael?
How you doing, Wes? See, Wes gets mad if you don't stop through, so you better call him next time, Aslan. So
You can't X off the turnpike, man. It's far away everything.
what's up, Wes? What's on your mind, my man?
You get off to see me. You get off to see me before you get on the turnpike. It's not too bad.
All right.
Stop at the Travel Plaza right before you get off. You're good.
Yeah, the Travel Plaza at the Wildwood exit. That's like 10 minutes from my house.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
So it's a classy joint. Hey, so Michael, I got a question. It's a true or false. It's a little bit funny, but also a legitimate question.
Okay.
True or false? If the unicorn, Destin Hill, isn't on campus in class come Monday, he will never appear at FSU. True or false?
No, I'd say false because we're gonna have to wait through this whole summer before we can just X him off the list. I was always told June, but I'm gonna wait it out with the summer and see what. Now, if he's not here by August, yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
No, June. We're not putting him back to August. If he's not here in June, he's not here.
I'm going to give you summer. Destin, if you're listening, I'm giving you the summer. Everyone says you're coming. Everyone tells me you're around the FSU side of things that you're coming. So I'm going to give you till August. For me, now Aslan might have a different take, but for me, it's August, and I'm going to wait till the summer. I'm giving you the summer. That's it. I'm cut off after that.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. The reason I asked is because I know with summer classes, I think that's like you got to be in by then, and also. My thoughts are if he is legitimately coming like the staff seems to think he is, well, you would think he'd want to get here then so he could be here for fall camp and not, at least get some repetition. If he's been out of game, playing time and that for that long, every rep counts. So, I just, that kind of was it, so, by the end of the summer, you're right. I mean, pretty much past that.
Yeah, the only thing I was told,
go ahead.
I was just going to say the only thing I was told I was going to be given a date when they know, for sure they were going to tell me the date that he is coming. They didn't say he's not coming. They just said they would give me a date for that. So that's what I have. I know it's not much. And for people out there that are listening and watch the show, you have no idea how infuriating it is for me. Like, trust me, I want to tell everyone, just explain the whole situation, but we have to do things, a certain way, and I check on this every week just to see if there's any change, and almost every 2 days, really. So I'm going to keep doing it until August, and then after August, that's it. So I'm done.
August what? I'm going to hold you to it.
August 1st. That's me. August 1st.
Okay.
Nice. I appreciate the honesty. I'm going to remember that. Very good. I marked that down. Hey, the other question I had was regarding transfers. Mm-hmm. Do you pretty much think that ship has sailed as far as getting any more transfers at this point? Or do you think, I don't know what's going on with deadlines and times and with NCAA and all that. I don't know. I mean, if they've kind of got what they've got and that's what they're going to roll with, or just want to see if that was a possibility still.
Now, there's still guys. I mean, you got to remember, some of them are grad transfers, so there's not really a timeline for a grad transfer. If they want to jump in, they can jump in. So you have Justin Turrentine, that's the offensive lineman from South Carolina. We mentioned you visited last week. I've heard that officially he's trying to set up an official visit with FSU this weekend. And then you also had Damon David, who officially visited over the weekend. He's also a transfer. So I don't think, even if they were, like, they're not a grad transfer or whatnot, I just think the NCAA is not going to really. I just don't think they're going to really enforce if a guy, unless it's like egregious, like late July or late June or something. I think they're kind of getting to that July mark where if you're not in by July as a transfer, I think that's kind of the cutting point for me. But they're still involved with that, and I continue to hear they're after another linebacker. They're kind of looking at somebody, not the guy that I was referring to that was the SEC linebacker, which everyone knows. I mean, it's already it's okay to say it now. There's Tresman Marshall, but it's somebody else. I don't know a name. Otherwise, I would share if I could. But I know they're kind of eyeing somebody that isn't in the portal yet. They're kind of going to see if he jumps in, and then certainly if he jumps in, I'm going to mention it on Warchant. But as of right now, that's kind of it with the transfers. Besides that, I haven't heard anything else about transfers.
Yeah, excellent. I knew about grad transfers till half the time. I just thought, outside of that, that's probably about it.
Yeah, we're nearing the end, thank God. I mean, we're nearing the end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty crazy when, I joke with Aslan about this a lot, and Iron's like, it used to be I do recruiting for until February and you're done. It's like now you have to go all the way to July, to finish a recruiting class. We're still not finished with, the recruiting class. They just landed a defensive tackle that's in 2022 class, and it's like it doesn't end until the summer, and then guess what? You're already starting that next cycle. So it's adjusting. It's a times of changing, and just part of recruiting. But it's just interesting. I talk about that all the time.
Yeah, excellent. Hey, before I go, I went and saw Top Gun last weekend. Fantastic. I mean, one of the best movies I've ever seen. It was great.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Hey, everyone that hasn't seen it, go see it, guys. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but it's phenomenal. Wes is right on the money. I mean, go see it. I'm going to go see it again. That's how much I liked it. So.
Yeah, most sequels don't live up to the billing, but that did. Aslan, have you seen it yet? If not, you need to go see it, buddy.
I will. It's on the to-do list after I get my.
Get off your tail, Aslan. Get off your butt, man. Do something. Let's go. Get your butt up there.
At least I saw it before Aslan did. I think everybody I know has seen it but me. So I feel
there you go. There you go.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for the time. Keep up the great work. Y'all don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as warchant.com, the best in the business. Get you some DeLuna coffee. Get you some Zaxby's. Support the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Y'all have a good evening and go Noles.
Bam! Look at that, man. That was a lot. But he got it all in. That's our guy.
Wes nailed all of the sponsors, man. I couldn't remember half of them. He got them all.
That's what he does. Keeping it back here on YouTube. Shout out to Mark Sermons. Thank you for dropping some doll hairs in the jar. That gets you a little bit of this. Michael, why did it take so long for all teams to start having any interest in Tafasi? That's the latest commitment. Ayobami. Tafasi.
Ayobami Tafasi.
There you go.
That's how I think it's said.
Yeah, what's the story with that? So he was a 2023 guy, and then he reclassified to 2022, and it was UConn, Arkansas, and Virginia Tech were his top four, and then us, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's really a lot of people didn't envision him to go to 2022, and then they felt like then it was a rush, like everyone was rushing, and he's only been playing football for a year, so he's one of those late bloomers, and a lot of people didn't envision him being 2022, so there wasn't a rush. Like, okay, we can get this guy on campus. He's 2023. We can work him and see there. Well, compared to FSU, who really stayed on him, kept the relationship consistent, and I think that paid off for them in the end. But that's why he's just a guy that one was a late bloomer for 2023, and then was able to, and then once he got to 2022, we saw the big scramble. Arkansas was pushing hard, Virginia Tech was pushing hard, more schools were in there, but he kind of wanted to keep it limited to the teams that were there from the start. And that's kind of why it started. But I can tell you, and I said this to Tom last night when I broke down a commitment, like, I have not heard of a defensive tackle that they pushed for harder, at least on phone calls, than I did with this guy. I mean, it seemed like, just my perception, that Odell really wanted this guy and valued this guy. And they certainly got it done. And I think they see kind of the value of what he can be, not so much what he is now, but what he can be. And for those who didn't see this guy, he is massive looking. Like, he is, he looks like an FSU player already. So I don't think they're going to have to do too much with the nutrition program and strength conditioning. I mean, Josh Storm sees this kid, he's going to be like, whoa, boy, I hit the jackpot, because this guy he looks like $1 million. Like, he is phenomenal looking, and certainly he's got all the skill set that you're kind of looking for. Now it's up to Odell to kind of bring out all that skill, the technique, and fine tune what he is. But I can tell you, this was a guy that the pursuit was pretty heavy for.
Yeah, great, man. Hopefully it works out. And then the second part of it, how many scholarships do we have if Destin signs?
I think it was like 4 before Tafasi, what I was told, and then so I think they have room, if that's what you're asking. I haven't heard that they don't, so that's kind of That would be my take. Probably. So I said 2 or 3, something like that.
But yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, at most they probably only get 2 other guys at this point, right? For like 2022. I mean, there's not like there's 4 or 5 guys that are
Right,
guys.
and that's why it's a complicated situation with the South Carolina offensive linemen. You have all these young guys, so you have to make sure, like, hey, is this worth it? This could ruffle some feathers of you already got your fall kind of roster, what it's going to be, and then bam, you already added the Dimitri kid. So it's like you got to be careful and see if it is the best fit for you. And now the Damon David one makes complete sense. They want a safety. If they've wanted a safety, they haven't gotten one yet. So that makes perfect sense for them to do that. And I think the one confusion is just if they're going to pursue and push for the Turtine kid from South Carolina. So
next up's our guy Eric from Cincinnati, but now in Tallahassee. He says he wants some music. That's all I got for you, friend. Michael, keep up the good work. Will Chris Parsons stay committed to FSU?
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate the contribution. That means a lot. I don't. I've said this when I addressed it last week. I don't think he's going to stay committed. I personally don't. I just usually when this process starts with the worried about other offers, and then it all started when which was kind of a harmless thing when Dante Moore visited, which Dante's not even a real legit target, and he got kind of pulled his stuff off Instagram, and it's just those kind of things they just never seem to end well in the end for everything. Obviously, I think Chris is a great kid. Talked to him many times. I think he's a very personable kid and all that stuff, but that's just not something I think you want to see as far as action out of your quarterback commit. Like, I don't think you want to see that. Like, they took you first, and then they communicated with you that they want a second quarterback before they even pursued these guys. So I think after that, it should be, I think squashed and done. But I understand, like, he was the first guy jump on board, but maybe Chris wants to be, the main guy, as far as the guy, as far as in the class. I don't know. I'm not going to guarantee that he won't be in, but it's just my gut feeling is he probably won't.
I agree with everything Michael just said. Yeah, it never obviously seems to be an encouraging thing when there's some vacillation there. And I get it. Listen, I get it. I mean, there's people on the PRB that are like, oh, this is, not a good sign, like bad character. Then everyone's like, well, hey, man, like Florida State's going to play the field. This kid's going to play the field as well. So, everyone's got to look out for themselves, but it does seem like probably at some point they'll go their separate ways. But hey, who knows? Maybe Rick Collins doesn't come into the fold, and then it's all Chris Parsons. But we'll see how. I got to get up for this. Look at this!
Holy moly of God,
man! What? James freaking B, man. I'm gonna put my James B hat on for a little bit here.
It takes a lot to get Aslan off his seat. Like
right now, I need an IV. I'm hurting, man. I'm hurting. James B, what is up, dude? Thank you so much. You're the man. We'll see you in I don't know, like less than it won't fit. I got my headset on. Less than 90 days, man. I think. Yeah. Right. We'll be in New Orleans, not the Duquesne game. I'm talking about New Orleans. We're gonna be partying, getting down. But $200, James. It's incredible, man. Your generosity, man. We appreciate it. He's a pillar. Everybody's name is right there, the heart of it, right there. No. Michael, I apologize if you have spoke on this before. I can't seem to recall what your opinion or confidence level is in the recruitment of Makari Vickers.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job, Makari, but this is kind of similar feelings and vibes to the Terrion Arnold one where he ended up going to Alabama. I'm not saying Makari's going to go to Alabama. I'm just saying it seems like he's looking to see what this product on the field is going to look like. He doesn't seem to be in a hurry, which is a good news. He was at FSU 7-on-7 today. I think from what I hear, he did pretty good. I think FSU's pushing all the right buttons, and their DBs, I mean, if you go by the spring game, they look pretty damn good. But product on the field is the product on the field. And, it's going to be hard to get a kid if you're going 5-7 every year. So I think they're going to have to show some product on the field. I think if they win 8 games, I think there's a really legit shot that they could pull a guy like Mcfoley, but I think he just needs to see the product.
Okay. Right on. We spoke to him last year at the 5-star camp, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
Yeah.
It's a good player, really good player.
Is Terrion Arnold? He went to Alabama? Is that what you said?
Yep, went to Alabama.
Huh.
I mean, just remind me. You look at Mcfoley; he's visited FSU like 1,000 times. He's at FSU probably, I would say, at least 10, 11 times already this year, and so he loves it there, and he loves the culture and everything. But at the end of the day, the reason they're not getting kids, in my opinion, is because of the product on the field. And you got to win. You got to win. You got to give them a reason to come here, and the reason has to be something to do with what you're looking like on the field. And I think they're growing, but eventually you have to take that step if you want to start getting, high 4-stars like Mcfoley, Vickers, and guys like that. So I think that's kind of what, in my opinion, he kind of denies that, but I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, James, don't ever apologize for anything. Ever.
No.
Not here.
No.
We don't take the apology.
No, he dropped 200. No.
Brandon Holloman, what's up, ML? That's Michael Langston.
That's
I get
me.
the sense that FSU is right there with keeping the attention of big-time recruits, and this thing will take off with this staff when the wins start to show consistently. Thoughts?
Brandon, that's you're right on the money. You nailed it. I think that's a great point. And I mean, even more illustrated today, I talked to defensive end Gabe Harris at the 7-on-7. I was there a little bit. He's transferred to Valdosta from, I think, what was he at? Thomas County Central. And Gabe laid it out clear. Like, I love everything about FSU. I have to see it on the field. And he's committed to Georgia, but he wants to see it on the field. And he gave kind of indication like, hey, he gave the indication to me, the way I took it is, if FSU looks good product on the field that I feel really good about it, I think he's going to take official visit, and I think there's a legit chance to get a guy like that. And I think a lot of these kids are basically rooting for FSU to be good. Like, they want them to be good because they love everything else. Everything else checks off for them, the way they feel about FSU. So I think the big thing is just you have to win. Eventually, you have to show more consistency in winning. You can't just flash, a win over North Carolina or a win over Miami. They want to see kind of a consistent product, and that doesn't mean you have to win 10 games or 11 games. It just means you need to win, around 8 wins and, maybe beat a few more rivals. And I think if you do that, yeah, it's going to change. It's going to shift. I think it's close. I agree with you. I agree. They're right there. It's right there, but kids have to see it. And if you're going to buy into a program, you have to show them something that you're bought in as well, as far as the product on the field. But great question, Brandon.
Yeah. Sorry, James. I'm sitting back down.
By the way, Odell, I'm drinking Powerade because Odell says you can only drink Powerade. So this is shout out to Odell. So
he's right, man. Recent inductee into the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame.
How about that? Great
what
dude.
took so long? What are they waiting? Who else is there? I mean, but there's a lot of great talent in Polk County. I don't mean it that way, but if Odell Hagens isn't in your Hall of Fame, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Jamel King is here. Hello, gentlemen. ML, that's Michael Langston. You said a few shows ago, a few days ago, weeks ago, months ago.
Yeah.
There might be a player to enter the portal, but not going to give his name or what position he plays. Did that player enter the portal?
Yeah, I addressed him earlier. It was Tresman Marshall. He hasn't entered. So from linebacker from Georgia, he visited FSU several times. I haven't heard anything about him going into the portal, so it doesn't look like that's happening. But there is another SEC linebacker. I do not know the name yet. I hate when they do this to me, but I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to tell you the name, but if he pops in the portal, I was told that I will know the name. So if that happens, I will certainly share. But that was kind of the player that I was looking at, is Tresman Marshall.
All right. So then, over under one, do you think they'll take one more transfer, not grad transfer, one more kid from the portal between now and August?
I really don't know, man. I think
all their names are in, man, right? Because there was, I know you and I think the deadline's a little bit maybe of a false front, but
yeah,
they did say you had to be in the portal by X date to be eligible for this season, unless you are a grad transfer guy. So I mean, there could be guys that put their names in a month ago that we're not talking about that they could.
Right.
I don't think that's going to be the case. It would probably have to be a grad transfer, but
Right. Exactly. That's very true. I think Damon David's the only one that I could say like, oh, I think they would take that guy. The other ones are kind of just we don't know. And and maybe that has to do with the situation with the kids from South Carolina that hey, maybe they think a guy is in or going to be in that they want to pursue. Cuz I agree with you Aslan, there's not much room in time to do too many more, so I would think two, but that's just
wow,
me.
yeah, that sounds like a big number. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I mean, I would say two. I'm just saying they take more, two, no more than two.
Okay,
Two more.
all right. If Destin Hill does not show up on campus, will you tell us what the reason was and why he didn't show?
Timmy, down the line, if I'm able to share what I can, I'll have to check with my contacts, and I will share as much information as I can on the reason why. Like I said, it's not like oh, there's some problem with him, and that's all I really can say. But they're working through this, whatever it is, and if I will share as much as I can, but I'll definitely address it in some capacity. That's all I can really say. I can't. I don't want to commit to you and say I'll tell you everything what's going on without checking with the right people to make sure I'm not doing it the wrong way.
All right, very well. All right. Let's see here. This guy's funny. Let's kick him out of here. I like that.
That's fun.
Shout out to Coach Ortiz. Can't go a day without listening or watching Warchant. Thank you for making life easier in hot Arizona. Shout out, Coach Ortiz.
Thank you, Coach Ortiz. Appreciate it.
What's going on tomorrow, Michael? Isn't somebody going to be on campus that's kind of important?
Yeah, Reuben Bain is here. He arrived
Oh.
late this afternoon. He's staying for a multiple-day visit. For those who don't know, I mentioned that on the board a couple of days ago, maybe a day ago. I don't know. I barely know what day it is, but I did mention that early in the week that Reuben Bain would be here. This is his third visit. I think he made 2 visits in the spring, and then now he's making another one. I think the thing you look for on this visit was mainly to lock up FSU's official visit. I think FSU was likely to get one, but I think they really want to lock up the official. I think he's going to officially visit Alabama, Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma he already officially visited, but at Auburn he's going to visit officially. So I think they're hoping that the FSU visit will be locked up. And not saying there's a weekend open, but I don't see June 17th on there, Reuben Bain. So June 17th could be open if you want to extend that stay a little longer and officially visit. But we'll see what he does. I do think FSU will get official visit, but I plan on getting up with him. I think the visit's supposed to be. I know he's going to be there all day tomorrow again, and then I think maybe he leaves Friday morning or something like that. So I'm going to try to get up with him potentially tomorrow, if not then Friday, and then we'll see what old Reuben Bain has to say about Florida State. He certainly likes them a lot, but you're facing a lot of big boys in there with Oklahoma, and Auburn, and certainly some big names in Alabama. So we'll see how it goes. But as long as they keep visiting, that's not a bad thing. Aslan, you keep coming, that's a good deal, and we'll see what his feelings are about the Seminoles after this multiple day visit.
Moving things along here. Oh, there's our dude. It's the dude, man.
Ed, do it.
Dude. The dude of the dudes.
Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives here. He sleeps 20 feet away.
That's right. It's Ed Lemix, the dude behind this stuff.
The
Luna Coffee. Go to lunacoffee.com, everybody. Check out the website. Look at these tumblers they've got. They got not just a Wake Up Warchant tumbler. They got like a nice little fresh white design, a little black, keeping it nice and clean and crisp. Go to the website. Scroll down there. Check it out.
By the way, Brett, hit me up, man. I'm waiting to hear from you. You know what I'm talking about.
All right,
So,
Brett.
yeah.
Brett's the business acumen behind it. So
Ed's
got the palate. Ed's got the fancy, sophisticated palate that makes every bag just off the chain. So it's team effort, family effort. They're Noles, everybody. They're boosters. They're alums. They're everything. They're awesome. What is Chris Parsons doing? Mississippi State? Mississippi State?
Yeah, the fit doesn't. I'm with you, Ed. The fit. I don't see the fit there when you're talking about. What's the coach there? I'm drawing a blank. Mike Leach. He's more of a pro style guy that likes to sling it around. Chris's, main attribute is he's very electric. Obviously, he can throw, but that one's kind of a interesting one. But yeah, it sounds like. He visited Mississippi State. He's I think he's originally from Mississippi, so but it's a weird fit. But at the same time, being closer to home, I get that and all that stuff where he's from. But as far as the fit, it is weird to me as well. Ed, is he going to end up there? I don't know. I think he's probably going to, he'll take other visits and stuff like that. My next thing I want to see is are you going to come back to FSU? That will say a lot to me if you visit FSU again.
All right. Glad I almost hit a comment I didn't want to hit on. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Ed. By the way, thanks for that fifth. That's incredible, man. You're the man. That's awesome. God, this one guy let's put him in timeout. All right. By the way, we're not delayed on the scroll, everybody, but all the comments are coming in real time over here, but I'm trying to get to the comments from earlier. So yeah, I'm looking at the ones from 7:25, which is 15 minutes ago. So you guys are probably all over it by now. So I should scroll all the way to the bottom. Let's just scroll all the way to the bottom.
Go to the bottom.
All right. Keith, what's going on with the quarterback? I guess with quarterbacks. Chuba transfers. AJ's here. I understand you have to go after quarterbacks every recruiting cycle. So going forward, what's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, I don't think Parsons will be in there. I think the most realistic position that I think FSU can take is get a transfer quarterback in the portal next year and then get a high school kid. I think that's the most realistic option I see FSU doing. I'm under the feeling that I think this is probably Jordan's last year. It's just my view. I think they're going to need a quarterback, and I think you go to the portal and you get a high school kid, and that's kind of where I think the quarterback situation's at. I think there's dedication to Jordan of what Jordan's done, but at the same time, we all know this. These coaches have to win. They have to win. So they can't wait around forever, and so that's kind of what I think.
All right. Jamel, are there any 5 stars or highly rated 4s interested in FSU, or do they just got to see the product on the field first?
There's a lot of 4 stars. Obviously, I've mentioned several of them that are heavily involved with FSU. There's others. We know Brandon Ennis is certainly interested in FSU. It's kind of that falls in the same category that you have to show the product on the field. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys could commit before the product actually starts, regardless of what it is. So that's what you go through. But hey, if they really want to be there, and you say you win 9 games by some chance, they're going to give they're going to give FSU a look, in my opinion. So it just comes down to the product on the field. There's no need for me to list every one of them. I'm going to do a new hot board in July, guys, so I will go over all the prospects and we'll break it down. But there's a lot of guys that are 4 stars. Keldrick Falk's in there. Like Jordan Renaud's, one. Wilkie Denard is another one. It's a 4 star. So Luke Burgess just visited FSU. So there's a lot in there, but I think some of these kids don't want to see what the product is.
Okay. All right, let's hop into the caller queue.
All right.
I don't know. We'll see who this is. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Aslan. This is Tom.
Hey,
Tom Ortner from
Hey,
Port Charlotte,
Tommy! Tom, the Tom Master. Tommy. There he is. What's up, Tom?
Oh, nothing much. I had another question to ask, but then I was listening to Michael talk, and I got to ask, why does Michael think it's going to be Travis's last year? Regardless, he's not NFL quality. So you think they're just going to move on from him regardless, or?
I don't know. I like that question, Tom. The floor is yours, Michael.
I just feel like there's not going to be an evolve as far as how he evolves. He's going to be in my opinion, he's going to be the same guy to what are close to the same guy. Yeah, there might be slight improvements, I think, passing wise. I just don't think there's going to be a drastic change. And let's face it, this staff has to win. They have to win on the field. And if that doesn't happen, it's hard for me to see that, you're just going to go through that again when your jobs could be in question down the line. So I just that's just my vibe. I think Jordan's been tremendous for this program. I think he's a great leader. He's done everything they've asked him to do. He's obviously a phenomenal student and a great playmaker. Obviously, injuries have kind of hurt his his situation, but that's just my vibe on it, Tom. Really, it's just how I feel. Just I don't have a. I'm not going to sit there and act like I know. I've talked to people and they say, "Oh, this is going to be his last year." I just have a gut feeling it is.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to be surrounded by better talent. Sorry, Tom. And Corey said this on the podcast many times. Even if you get 2021 Jordan Travis, he's going to be surrounded by better talent. So by virtue of that, this team is going to be more successful. And I don't know, like 8 wins isn't enough to tell him like, hey, beat it,
I don't think they're gonna tell him to beat it. I just think it might be a mutual thing where maybe Jordan's just like, hey, I've done everything I can do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if he thinks. I don't know. Maybe he thinks that 8 wins is enough for him to put his name into the NFL draft. And listen, man, he's been playing college football since 2018. Everybody, so it's been a minute. He's been playing college football for a long time. So I guess I could maybe see him just figuring to go ahead and roll the dice on it. But it does seem a little bit risky. But who knows? Yeah. Sorry, Tom. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Just from my point of view, I mean, I'm not anywhere in touch with the program like y'all are, but if we have 8 wins, or if Florida State has 8 wins, I don't play for them, but if they have 8 wins, it's like, how could he get rid of the guy? Like, how could he force him out? And if we don't get 8 wins, I don't see Norvell even being the coach next year. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I just think he's done everything. I mean, humanly, you could ask the guy to do. I mean, we knew, look, the passing's not his forte. We know he's an electric game-breaking playmaker when things break down, and certainly he can do things. But it comes to a point like, where are you going with this? Like, you have to have somebody that can equally attack teams both vertically and both on the ground running. And is he going to keep wanting to take that beating on the field? It might be we'll wait and see. But that's just my gut feeling on it. It's just like, I don't know where you're going if you just keep banging your head against the same wall every time, even if you have more talent. And I'm not suggesting anything that Jordan's a problem at all. Jordan, they won a lot of games just because of Jordan, like, because he is phenomenal. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it comes to a point where how much can you do?
Fair enough. I have one more quick question that I called in for.
Absolutely.
I keep on hearing how we're not at Florida State caliber when it comes to recruiting right now. Mm-hmm. And, I was thinking about how Tennessee closed out last year. Why the hell if we're committed, the way how I keep on hearing we're committed, how come they're not just throwing bags at people and getting them signed up?
Just straight to the point, right, Tom? Just right to it. Yeah, I mean, with NIL, certainly we know SEC teams are going to do that. We know that. And then but I will say this about Tennessee. I watched that team the last 3 or 4 games. I mean, that team impressed me when I watched them. I mean, I thought that was a good team. And when I watched them, and I could see
they got a good QB.
Yeah, the obvious improvement. I saw the obvious improvement when I watched that team. So there's definitely growth for the first time in Tennessee football. I can say in, like, I don't know how many coaches they went through. So they actually, I think you saw the growth, but also, the NIL certainly is a positive for them. But you're not wrong, man. I mean, that's part of the situation is NIL. But I've always said my take on the NIL for FSU is, dude, just win games. If you win, it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be a problem with NIL, in my opinion. Like, the value is going to be there. You're gonna increase money every time. Just if you're winning cures a lot of stuff, and I think it would cure the NIL for them. But not everyone is in the situation of doing what Texas A&M and Tennessee can do. They just aren't.
Well, that sucks.
Okay. Sorry,
Tom. They're being competitive, man. They're not. Yeah, I don't think Florida State's losing. They're not. Like Florida State's not losing. Go ahead.
I was hoping it was all in some room somewhere getting ready to get flung out on the
No, I
big
don't.
game.
Yeah, I think Tom. I think they're going to be competitive of guys that they really value. I think FSU will be very competitive. I think they can do that. They're not broke. They're not like poor or anything like that. It's like you're just talking about Texas oil money, and you're talking about SEC teams that the boosters go out of their way. They're crazy. FSU is a great school, but they don't have that type of money consistently for every single guy. But they will have value and be
But when are
competitive.
we going to value the 4-stars and the 5-star kids?
But they're getting it elsewhere, Tom, and they're also going to programs that are a little bit more established on better ground right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it too.
Those teams are winning a lot more than FSU. FSU has like 4 straight under 500 teams as well. So you got to give them a reason to buy into the NIL. NIL only works when consistently if you're showing some kind of product.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but also I see other schools do. I mean, UF got players they shouldn't have got. Miami got players they shouldn't have got.
Yeah, the thing is, all those teams you just named have been a lot better than FSU as far as productivity with records.
I don't know about Florida, but I mean, at least Florida's got SEC money to be thrown around.
I don't think Florida or Miami can brag about being that much better than us.
I wouldn't say that much, but they've been more consistent than what FSU has done.
It's going to work out, Tom. It's going to be all right, man. We're going to win 8 games. Sky's the limit. They're all going to start committing. They're going to see the product on the field.
I'll still keep tuning in, brothers. I'll still go to the games. I'm hooked.
There you go. Yeah, and it's all about just how you view your viewpoint on all this. Obviously, we don't all agree. Every one of us has got a different view, but if you win, that takes care of a lot of problems. And that's really it.
All right, Tom. Appreciate the phone call, man.
All right, I appreciate y'all. Love you guys.
Thank you, bud.
$T bills, y'all. Tom,
I like him. I like him, man.
Fair question.
That's a very fair question. That was a great call. Call back anytime, Tom. I'd love to. That's the thing people like. I love talking to people that don't agree with either my view or Aslan's view. it's just good conversation. That's why you have these shows.
All right, rapid fire, Nole Nation 96. Not sure if it's been asked yet. It has been. The linebacker you mentioned a few weeks ago ever entered the portal. No, what, Tresman Marshall, is that his name?
Yeah, Tresman Marshall from Georgia.
Okay. Timmy's back. So we got a couple from Timmy. First one from Timmy. Do we have a shot with Nathaniel Joseph?
No, I don't think so. I think he's probably going to Miami. He's from that area. He visited FSU one time, and I didn't get the kind of vibe that, hey, this is a guy they can get. I didn't get that vibe.
Let's pull him up just anyways. I always need to see a face when we're talking about a kid. Timmy follows up with, are we still in a good spot with William Foles?
Yeah, I think they have a great shot with William. I think he's a guy that will officially visit them. My only concern is like he hasn't been on campus since last summer, so I kind of want to see him more frequently as visiting. But yes, they've done a great job with him. I think they have a great shot. I wouldn't say they're in a perfect spot. I think there's other teams, but I think they're in a good spot or a great situation where I think they have a good shot at pulling him.
6'2", 212. I like that. Oh,
yeah, he's good.
Look at that super slow-mo. Ooh, mossing him. I don't know who he's playing, though. I've never even heard of Miami Christian School. Let's see here. Oh, nice little drag route. Oh, turns on the Jets. Get the corner. Nope, don't want him. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay. Good baptized.
There you go. Can't stop.
Dennis Mcfoley Jr., not to be confused with Dennis McFoley Sr. Any news about Chris Holifield?
Yeah, he came for a camp. He's the guy one of the guys. Actually, I don't know if he came for a camp or I think it was just a visit. He came for a visit, and he was with Jaden. I think one day, Jaden Jones that committed FSU. I don't think they're pursuing Dennis yet. I think he's a guy they kind of want to watch and see where they go from there. Plus, you're going through a whole cycle of 2023 running backs, so I don't think they're going to be a rush, especially with FSU being hot after Dalen Smothers and Sam Singleton. Both of them, I feel like they feel they have a solid shot at both of those guys. So I think Chris is kind of a guy they want to see more of and later on and just see what he looks like.
All right, 5'10", 188. last year's bio. Pearl River Community College. Stand up,
Pearl
South
River.
Mississippi. Stand up. All right, here we go. Danielle
make it?
Silas. Yeah, I'll make it. I'm fine. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes the questions always aren't bam bam. They're kind of spaced out. I gotta scroll.
Okay.
Danielle Silas. I have heard good things about Will Norman wanting to take an official with FSU. Is this true? What info do you have?
He's it. Danielle. Is that how you say it? Danielle. Hope if I got that right. Yeah.
Danielle.
I think he's wanting to take an official. He's indicated on Twitter that, hey, I'm coming back soon. So I definitely think I could say watch out for the 24th weekend. I could see that happening for official visit. I still think you got where Penn State and Texas A&M. Those are the two teams I hear the most with him. But certainly there's a connection with FSU that he really likes, and maybe it's he feels really comfortable there. I certainly think there's work to do with him, but I think certainly he still communicates heavily with FSU. So I do think he will take an official. That's the kind of the vibe I get. So, but there's also I think Texas A&M is probably the team I lean more towards in his recruitment. But I definitely I get the impression that he's going to take an official here.
Really don't like the redesign of these profile pages rivals.
I'm not yeah, me and Aslan have talked about that. We're not a fan.
I like Will Norman though. I like Will Norman.
Oh yeah, he's good. He's
good.
really good, and JB's done a great job with him. The whole staff in general has done a great job. Odell, Keywan Ratliff has been really good with him. So certainly the staff has done their work. I think it's a lot of just you hope that he officially visits, but then you hope also that he waits and watches the season and what these guys are going to look like. And I think the attraction is he sees what he sees what guys like Jermaine Johnson did. He saw what that defensive line looked like, and kind of goes back to what I've mentioned before, as that was a terrible snap, by the way. But the product on the field, just want to see kind of what they do as far as winning. And but he's definitely intrigued by FSU. I mean, the visit to FSU is the one he raved about so much. And I think this is a kid also that just loves the recruiting process as well. I think he just loves going places.
I'd love it too, man. Shoot. Y'all, all these everybody like under the age of 35 just has Instagrams to show like all the travels they do and stuff, man. I mean, I know it's not going to Hawaii, but man, yeah, I'd be like, all right, man, I'll go to Tuscaloosa. I'll go to Boulder. I'll check these places out. This was from a while ago. Sorry, Octavia. Didn't mean to skip over you. I like this question. I had to scroll all the way back up to find it. If you could go into cheat mode in our recruiting situation, what would you upgrade instantly to help the cause non-NIL?
Gosh, you're going to put me on the spot.
Facility? That'd be cool. I mean, I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool to have like a really sweet facility. They could be like, yeah, here's your little sleeping pod. And, it's you can zip line to your class from here. It's the jump off spike.
Yeah, I think, I agree with Aslan about the football only facility. That's a big deal. We don't need a slide like Clemson, but you definitely need facilities and upgrades of that and showing your commitment to that. And then just got to get better. I hate to harsh on this, but it's like FSU's got to fix their passing, situation. They've got to be able to throw the ball. Some of that last year, we saw a lot of that with the receivers. The quarterback's got to. If I was going to fix something, I would say, fix the passing game.
Okay.
I mean, for me, that's a big thing. I mean, so if you're asking me for a cheat mode, that's what I would do. And football only facilities would be a big part too. I think that's a big step as well. But
all right. Go to LA, kidnap Caleb Williams, make him come to Florida State. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Garrett Sweeterman. What's up? What's up, G? Michael, do you see a recruit in this class that program changing that FSU has a shot at? Similar to LaMarcus Joyner.
No, I don't see anybody yet like that. I haven't seen anybody that's LaMarcus Joyner like or Jalen Ramsey like or guys that are just incredibly just change the program. I think certain guys would change your room. I think getting a guy like a Shelton a Shelton
Sampson.
Sampson or getting a quarterback like a Brock Glenn or Ricky Collins certainly changes your quarterback room. And then
Whoa, really? Like you think Ricky Collins is like that's
yeah,
a player?
I like him a lot. And then there's other positions out there, defensive end and linebacker. I think just getting guys that got Will Norman, the guy we just talked about. I think that changes your room as well. Getting a guy like that. So yeah, I think you have to you have to address the positions of changing the room, but I don't think there's like just a can't miss guy like LaMarcus Joyner that FSU can I think pull right now.
Sister Carol says we need wins.
She is right, Carol.
Amen,
I'm with you. Amen, sister.
Dante Hall, with the offensive lineman and defensive lineman Norvell has brought in, are they on par with what SEC teams have done?
I think for the
Georgia and Alabama, but I mean, some of these guys, hopefully,
from a skill set, they are. From a ranking for everyone, just subjective. No, probably a little different. Not much off, but a lot of these guys are. The skill set is definitely there. I mean, they can play. I think.
What about the size, though? What about the size? I mean, I saw a couple guys in the 7-on-7 camp today. I'm like, you know what, man, you're going to be starting. You can beat me up, but I wouldn't be scared of you. I should be scared of you. I'm 180 pounds. I should be scared of you if you're starting for Florida State. I should be scared of you. And I'm like, I'm not. You'd beat me up. Absolutely, I would get got. Not a tough guy, but I'm not. I mean, you walk by Alabama guys like, okay, sorry, I don't want to make eye contact.
Yeah. I mean, they're not like Alabama guys, but you said SEC, so I'm characterizing all the teams.
Missouri, Kentucky.
But I think the skill set for these guys that they have are really strong. So I know a lot of people are going to say, until you get 4 stars and Rivals 250 and Rivals 100 guys that Alabama wants. That's what people want, Aslan. People want prospects that Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas A&M want, and they want FSU to get those guys. That's what fans want.
Yeah.
Like, because that tells them, hey, they want these guys, they're good. Until they stink, and then they're like, we don't want them anymore. Let's go to the portal. But yeah, I mean, objectively, that's what fans want. They want a recruit that is coveted. That's how the fan views it a lot, and they're not totally wrong. But I think the skill what they have, on the offensive line is on par with some SEC teams. I mean, it is. It's not par with the big boys like Georgia and Texas A&M and Alabama, because those teams are ridiculous, with 5 stars. But the other teams, I think it's definitely on par.
I mean, I don't, just like looking at this class, I mean, we like these kids as human beings, as productive members of society. But I mean, I just don't, there's not a lot of guys here that like Nick Saban and Kirby Smart were like, hey man, we want you.
I was mainly,
it's a barometer, man. It's all data points. Like, we don't have PFF for high school, so we don't really know just how awesome they are. We look at the tape. We don't know the level of competition. So when Nick offers a guy, when Kirby offers a guy, when Lincoln Riley offers a guy, if you're a defense guy and Brent Venables going after you, it's like, all right, this guy's on the right trail. And then we get some guys that maybe aren't as coveted, as you said.
Yeah, I was mainly referring to guys that are on their roster, not so much in the high school class. I think Randy Pitt, maybe Ole Miss is going after him. Last time I checked, they're in the SEC. I think anybody in the country would be a fool not to go after Lamont Green. I mean, we've seen that guy. I think he's phenomenal. Same thing with Dre Jacobs. I think he's good. Now these other ones, kind of iffy.
Okay.
Maybe not there. Now I will say Quintarius Jones is the guy that they have raved about. Like, they're very excited about this kid. Now, will they hold him? They haven't had a good luck in holding kids from Mississippi. So we'll see. But I do know that he's one that they are extremely high
on. How about Jim? What about the running back, Mike Mitchell out of Middleburg? FSU has been there a few times to check him out.
Yep.
Watch his film. Let's watch his film.
Yep. They like him. That's the best way I can answer him, is they like him. I would put him just barely below the notch of Singleton and some others for me, but he's a guy they like. I've heard that from, several FSU contacts have told me. Let's pop in some film, Aslan, and let's watch some Mike Mitchell.
Let's do it.
Not the Mike Mitchell of Florida that it was the shooting guard, like football Mike Mitchell.
What's Middleburg? Were they 4A, 3A?
I think they're 4A.
All right. Let's iris up there, camera guy. Let's iris up. Let's get a little better exposure, a little more lighting. That would help out.
Is this like look, his jersey was flashing.
Yeah. I was trying to highlight him there, but all right.
Okay.
So yeah, what is the wish list right now? Is like Dalen Smothers, do you think he's number one on the board? Like, and where do you think Mitchell is?
I think it's I don't think there's like a clear number one. I think it's Smothers and Singleton at the top, 1A, 1B, whatever way you want to go. And then I think Mitchell is slightly behind those guys. I think they like those two the best. That's kind of the vibe I get. And then they also like Mike Mitchell a lot. I mean, they like him a lot. So if something like where they feel like, hey, these guys are not moving as quick as we want, and we're sold on this guy, then I could see them, Mitchell moving up to that, one spot or 1B spot. So it's definitely one that isn't just like, oh well, he's on our radar. I mean, they like him a lot. They had him out there and camped him out, and he did well. I know they're very impressed with him, and certainly the thing that jumps out to you when you watch these clips is the vision, but then also the speed. Like he can go. He's got some good wheels. I don't know who they're playing against, but he definitely has the pull-away speed you look for. And we know that Yak covets the speed. He loves kids with speed. I mean, he's every kid he's recruited. A lot of kids that he's recruited have to have that speed.
Oh, winding things down here on the Warchant.com recruiting call and show with Michael Langston. Nole Nation 96. How's our recruiting board looking when it comes to linebackers?
Very limited is the polite way of saying it. It's not great. Now they do have, I think Riley Nicholson is visiting FSU this weekend. That's the only official visitor I know as of now. As I mentioned, South Carolina offensive lineman might officially visit, but Riley's he's out of California. So there's not a lot of targets. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Nole Nation 96. I have not heard a lot of major targets. Obviously, there's some guys that are still there, like D. Creighton, and there's others that they're kind of talking with, but got to pick it up in the linebacker recruiting. That's the best way I can sum it up. But they needs to get better.
I couldn't even find Riley Nicholson on Google.
There you go. There you go.
That could be my fault.
That's probably not a good sign. I think he spells Nicholson different. He spells it with the E near the end of it.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say it's gotten to the point now where rivals, like if you're like one letter off on the kid's name, like it won't pop up. I see a 2015 linebacker named Riley Nicholson.
Yeah, the nickel part is fine with the O, but you have to put the SEN, not SON.
I know, man. I'm not having any luck. I'll go to our database search or whatever. Hey, how about another question about Destin Hill while I handle it? There you go. Enjoy. That's what you get, Michael. That's what you get.
Well, Tom, I think they will have a spot for him. I've already discussed kind of how many I think, probably maybe 2 or 3. But I think they would definitely save room for Destin. And if you're looking for any kind of glimmer or silver lining, they're not shooting it down that he isn't going to be here. Like, they're not moving on. It's not a situation where FSU's like, yeah, we don't know about the kid. He could end up in we don't know where, some foreign country. No, it's like they actually feel like that he's coming. So there's still that. But yeah, it was funny because Corey was asking me on the Smash Sunday. He was like, "Is this guy really alive? Does he exist?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've interviewed him a few times in person when unofficial visits." And the funny thing is, like, he unofficially, I think, like 2 weeks in a row, and then and it was great. He was a phenomenal interview, and it was just great. And then after that, we never saw him again. So he whatever was going on. So it's just it's a weird situation, guys. I know. What can I say?
It's a weird situation is trying to find Riley Nicholson in the data.
Apparently.
I mean, all right, he's a 2023 linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just type in like Riley, and I'm getting like N Michael with an E.
Yes. Hit it.
Olsen.
Hit it.
No, look at it. And then Angel Diaz comes up. Rivals, come on, man. Like, how?
Kill-
I type
you're-
in Riley Nichols, I get David Mata from come on. I
Yeah, I should
can't
take-
find him.
I got to
Does
take
it
a picture of my screen or something.
Yeah, maybe need to do that. All right, let's take another question or two here. Marcus Lee, we were just talking about linebacker recruiting and what's up with it. Maybe
Bad.
just
Not
is
good.
it a good year? Is it a down year? What
I
is
mean,
it?
it's kind of a down year. There's not a lot of elite guys that I've seen too many of. Rayo Aguirre is really good, but besides, I mean, there's not a lot of top premier guys. But still, even with that, you would think you would see some low 4 stars or some high 3-star kids that are visiting FSU's campus. I think Caleb Lavallee was the last guy that visited that they were serious about, and he committed to North Carolina. So it's kind of there's not the options seem limited, so it's kind of like it makes you question like what's going on, because there has to be prospects out there. Now maybe they see some kids in the fall that they're going to bring in that they feel good that are targets that they've been working on, but as of right now, it just the board seems pretty limited, and it's going to be a challenge for me to make a hot board off this. So it just seems limited right now. It just seems limited, and it's certainly a position you want to add a few guys. Certainly, we've seen them upgrade their roster with Tatum Bethune. We've seen the emergence of Kalen DeLoach, based on what we saw in the spring, seemed to be he's ready primed to really have a solid year. So they have improved the room there. Hey, you got Caleb Lavallee up. There you go.
Yeah, he was saved from like a week ago. I can't find Riley Nicholson, man. I can't find it. I don't get it.
Yeah, they just I can't really say what's up with it, Marcus, except that
it's Blake.
Hey,
not Riley. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why, guy. Huh?
Way to go, No Nation. You got us covered. I had the wrong name.
Oh man. All right, I don't want to show you I don't want to show how the sausage is made over here. But I mean,
my bad, guys.
You
my
can
bad.
get a linebacker in the portal. Like you can get you can keep. That's something that you can keep going to the portal and patching for the time being. So we'll live.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Look at this! Look at the way he looks into your soul. What's up, Blake? What's up with that mane of yours? Looks like Pat Tillman, God rest his soul.
See, that's kind of why I'm not a big fan of this close-up thing.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? It's a lot.
A
lot of offers. Look at that. Pac-12 royalty, Arizona State, Cal, Fresno, Nebraska, Boston College, the Noles. All right, very well. 62205. Let's put the tape in, Michael. Let's put the tape in and see what happens here.
Is it going to let you?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I figured
got it.
I mean, I make it look easy sometimes, everybody, but it's not. I assure you, this is not an easy thing that I sometimes make it look. Well, he's a linebacker. Why was that on his tape? Was he receiver there?
I guess.
Is you were the right guy. Blake Nicholson, is this you? Do we even have the right tape on your Rivals.com profile as I'm just hammering Rivals?
I didn't know he was a receiver. Maybe he plays both ways. That looks like him.
So, man,
look at him.
All
Look
right.
at him. He's fast.
Right,
He's got wheels.
We'll take that. Thanks, Noel Nation 96. We got a civil war going on here. Everybody to your corners. There's like a prime Deion Sanders pro Deion corner and then a pro Florida State corner. We're all friends here. We're all on the same team here. William McMillan says Norvell, stop playing. Just throw the bag at these linebacker prospects. That's the only way you're going to get a good one.
Yeah, but I don't even think that's going to do it, William, because just throwing a bag doesn't answer everything. As much as everyone wants that to answer, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't work for everyone. You have to show some sort of product you can't just, you see Wake Forest throwing bags out there or Duke. It's like not comparing FSU to that, but you have to show some kind of product to continue kind of moving up with your team and not just NIL. It has to be more than just throw money at something and it thinks it's going to fix everything. Eventually your product has to be better regardless.
Let's see this guy. Some guy thought he was funny. He wasn't funny. I found it. Got him. Jim, shout out Jim Middleburg 6A. All right. That's solid. That
There
is
you go.
solid. Well, that's good competition. All right. Yeah, that's about what we got. All right, we're done. We made it to the finish line. Thanks everybody who called. Thanks to Gator Kirk. Thanks to Wes. Thanks to Tom Ortner. Shout out Eric Angel, Mark Sermons, Ed Lemmix, DelunaCoffee.com. Check them out. James B as well. Pillar.
Yeah,
Ed also Pillar. Ed on the other side of the pillar that you can't see on this fine piece of granite. James, you right there in the middle. We appreciate it. Again, Reuben Bain visiting. So stay connected to warchant.com tomorrow for that. And then I don't know, is there a individual camp this weekend? What's going on? How else are we getting melanoma?
Aslan, there's a camp just about every damn day. So yeah, we got
Nick doing this? Did Nick and Kirby do this?
I don't know, but they have an individual camp on Friday, which is my birthday, by the way.
All right.
And then Saturday they have another individual camp, and then Wednesday the final camp, which is the big man camp. And I've already dropped some nuggets on that.
I thought Big Man Camp was earlier today.
That was the second one. Now we have the third one. You got to come out.
I heard they're doing 7-on-7 next Wednesday. They did 7-on-7 today, and they did 7-on-7 last week.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing a third 7-on-7.
Yeah.
That's news to me. But I do know they have a third big man camp, and that's going to be the big one. That's going to be a lot of top prospects I've heard are coming over for that one. So we'll be ready for that. But yeah, it's individual camp on Friday and Saturday. We'll be ready. Let's do it. Do it, baby.
Austin Cox, thanks to him for his work out there today. Michael is also out there. The Blitz newsletter will be dropping tomorrow. Reuben Bain visiting, again, as we said. Top 40, I think, is dropping here. It's going to start dropping in a few days. Maybe next week it'll be starting. So the off season, there isn't, because we've been working the whole time. Continues. We've got you covered over at warchant.com, the ultimate Seminoles sports source. If you lasted this long, thumbs up on the way out. That'd be really cool. Seriously, we'd appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
For Michael, I'm Aslan. Thank you for watching. Have a great one, everybody.